actually being undone before your own eyes, on your own body.
This area here was really quite ropey, and now it's really very smooth and soft.
Never thought I'd see a change. I never expected one.
You're experiencing it, and you're seeing it, and you still don't quite believe it.
They say your face tells a story. Well, Alan Breslau's has quite a tale to tell.
We took off in bright sunshine, and just as we were taking off, we flew into a storm that turned out to be a tornado. We lost our lift and crashed on the field and burned. The front section broke away from the back. Everybody in the front with me, except myself, were killed. They died in the flames.
It was 46 years ago. A commuter flight that Alan survived was miraculous.
I spent the next 5 years in Rochester, New York, the Strong Memorial Hospital, 52 operations to get me to where I am today.
83-year-old Alan has devoted his life to burn survivors, setting up the Phoenix Society to help others. He's been happy in his skin.
I don't see my other face ever, you know.
So imagine his scepticism when he was told his scars weren't set in stone.
I was sceptical too. We've been approached by many people with, quick fixes, and we thought, we'll just, see how this goes, and we went along, and we've been amazed, haven't we? Yeah.
It might not look much to us, but wife Delwyn's been surprised at the changes in just 5 weeks.
Well, I think the first major change was a contracture that was from his chin down to here. It was really very major and very pronounced, and it's almost as good as disappeared now. That really amazed us. And around here it was much thicker and fuller and quite hard, and now it's very soft and not nearly so pronounced.
The biggest thing I've noticed is it's softened up a huge amount, okay? So we haven't got all those contortions. It's also changed colour, okay? So it's going back to more of a natural skin tone.
Hayden Goldsack was a sceptic too.
Bewildered, I guess. I mean, you've got a guy standing in front of you with a couple of stone tools, and you kind of like, dude, we're not back in caveman era. But, after a couple of sessions, what can you say? I mean, it works.
Hayden's been burnt since he was 4.
I was standing on a chair in front of the oven stirring tomato soup, and my shirt was hanging out, caught on the element, and up I went. I was having operations or skin grafts basically every 3 to 4 days. I can still hear my screams echoing through the hospital wards.
We're intending to take that back to flat.
Chris Toal's the man who says he can literally make scars go away. By rubbing a stone on the scar, it seems to flatten and smooth it.
Just goes soft straight away.
Yeah. That hurt though, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, it was up in the red zone.
Chris trained in deep tissue massage and studied fascial kinetics, researching the myofascia, the connective tissue under your skin.
If you strip the skin off a chicken leg, all the muscles are held in shape by myofascia. That's what gives muscles their shape. When you have an injury, you say, myofascia, harden here to protect that injury site, and it does that.
So how does it actually work?
Essentially what we're doing is we just reprogram the brain to say, instead of holding this in the state you're currently holding it, change it, because the injury is not there and it's not apparent today.
You're changing the message to the brain by pressure.
It's not us being clever, it's the body being clever and us just working out how to talk to it.
With Hayden, they've used a combination of stretching and the stones. It's not new technology, they were doing it 4,000 years ago in China.
That little stone with holes in it came about from working with roughly 3,000 prototypes and using different minerals till we came up with a mineral that had the right content in it that would do the work we want to do.
They settled on a type of jasper.
We wanted to achieve a design that people really couldn't hurt themselves with, a design that had a strong field, in the same way a quartz watch works through having electrical fields within the quartz. This has fields that we use.
For Alan, it's working. He uses the stones at home.
You break the connection to the fascia below, to the surface skin, and that lets the scar relax.
Hayden's had about 6 sessions with Chris. He's hoping his scars can be reduced to a watermark.
That all this stuff here is actually soft to the touch now. What you can't tell from this was that was rigid hard.
So do you think this could be a revolutionary new way of dealing with burns?
It might well be. It could very well be.
It is still an experimental stage. Let's not get away from that. But from the results I've seen so far, it could change things dramatically. You know, we've got something here that could change the way we rehab all burns victims.
Tragedies scarred them for life,
You're experiencing it, you still don't quite believe it.
or so they thought.
How revolutionary do you actually think this is?
Could it be a miracle cure for victims of traumatic burns?
There's nothing that's been remotely done like this.
Is the answer in this man's hands?
Seems to be working.
Discover this amazing secret tonight on Close-Up at 7. Well, we had quite a response to our story on Friday about a new treatment to treat burn scars. You'll remember Toal used a small stone, this is one of them here, to reduce scars which burn survivors had had in some cases for decades. Well, we promise you we would get an expert opinion on whether it really does work. Here's Robin Janes with plastic surgeon Martin Rees and his thoughts on whether the little stone can make a big difference when it comes to burns therapy.
The claims seemed incredible.
The scars that I've had for 46 years have gone pretty flat and more better color. So my skin feels softer.
2 men, both severely burned, both saying a simple stone treatment has improved their scars.
You're experiencing it and you're seeing it, you still don't quite believe it.
So what do the experts think?
Martin! Toal.
We asked plastic surgeon Martin Rees, who's worked a lot with burn survivors, to take a look. Heather Stewart was burned as a 9-year-old when her neighbour threw petrol on an incinerator.
I'm here just as an observer. I just want to see what it is you're doing.
Yep. So we could work on perhaps this line here and perhaps down
scar
through there.
Yeah.
Heather's had these scars for 43 years.
You can feel there's a certain thickness to the scar, that's the thickened dermis there.
Now I'm going to go deep, okay? So this is where you're going to get your sting. So now you get your sting, and you can feel it's right along that little line.
Yeah. Chris Toal's hoping this treatment will be able to reduce the need for burn survivors to have skin grafts so regularly.
We believe that it's a huge number of factors all working at once, but the net result is that if you feel that now they've found that other scar tissue on this side, you'll feel that's quite different again now.
It certainly feels
Quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
You look fairly sceptical there.
Well, all I can say, I'm used to seeing proof by doing lots of things and recording them. It's very hard to do a controlled trial in this situation because you can never get 2 people with identical burns.
A plastic surgeon was never going to be easy to convince.
I'm not completely sceptical. I always have an open mind about anything like this, and as with most people, you want to see the proof.
Heather, though, is surprised after only 20 minutes of treatment.
Oh, yeah, it looks flatter.
Fast forward 2 days and Heather's come to show Dr. Rees her face after one treatment.
Have a seat here.
I have noticed a real change in this area here, where it was quite lumpy here, and I could fit my thumb underneath that scar there, but it's actually flattened quite a lot. I actually feel like I can move my facial area a lot.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
The linearity of that scar has certainly softened up. There's less of a band under there. It felt like a little piano wire under there before. That's a bit softer too, I think.
From a plastic surgeon point of view, you don't think that anything that I was doing or he was doing is doing any kind of damage?
I wouldn't think so. No, these scars are pretty tight, strong things.
Dr. Rees thinks the pressure of the stone massage may have stretched the collagen fibres under Heather's skin.
Certainly the scars, those sort of bands of scars, seem to be softer. They don't feel like a tight wire under the skin. I can feel that.
So it has made a difference?
I think so. Whether it's the magic of his stone or it's his technique, or whether somebody else just using a lot of high pressure massage would achieve the same, I don't know.
So, the expert opinion?
This is anecdotal. It may not be for everybody, but in this circumstance, I think there's some demonstrable improvement.
And how do you feel about it?
I think it's showing promise. So I've got the stone, so I can do it at home. So definitely I'll keep on going with it.